Hello and welcome to the course of data science. This is unit 1.7. In this unit we will talk about tools for data science. So this is very important thing because as a data scientist you need to have a good understanding about different tools, and of course you cannot only rely on a single tool, but you must have a set of tool available, and according to the current problem, or maybe the current scenario, or maybe the current requirement, you have to select the tool which is the most appropriate for you. And of course this is also important to mention here that even for a single data science problem you may have to use, or you can say, that in most of the cases definitely you have to use several tools for just one single problem. Okay, so what is important here? The thing which is important in here is you need to learn as many tools as possible. Of course, some of the with some of the tools you must be very competent in. With some of the use, maybe you have a moderate level competency, and maybe with the rest of the tools you might have a basic level of competency. But remember this thing, that you cannot able to solve a data science problem by using just one single tool. Why? Because because you need to handle huge amount of data, you need to process efficiently a large amount of data, then you have to basically build different type of models, then you have to present the outcome. So if we just need to focus on these three, then you can able to identify that you need at least three tools for just these things. Okay, so just these things you need to have a good hands-on on at least 2 to 3 tools, and you might need to have a good understanding of maybe more than these tools. Actually depend on the problem which you are actually solving as well, because for some of the specific problem you might need to have a very specialized knowledge of a particular tool. Maybe if you are working for the healthcare sector, you might need to have a good understanding of some of the software which is particularly designed for or developed for basically medical domain. And this tool is quite different from the traditional tool set or the common tools which you need to have a good understanding about it. So let's start with. First of all, remember this. Initially, MATLAB was a very popular tool for data science or machine learning, because because MATLAB is a very easy tool, and for most of the tasks, or for most of the jobs, it already have a toolbox, and in each toolbox there is a plenty of built-in functions are available which you just need to invoke to accomplish your task. Okay, so that is why I just first want to mention about MATLAB. So if you are again working with MATLAB is very easy. Working with the MATLAB language is very easy. Vector-based computation is very easy. And even if you want to work with the GPU, it is actually available and supported in many of the toolboxes, so that you can efficiently solve your complex problem by taking advantage of GPU computing. Okay, so that is why MATLAB is very important, and it's very handy tools. However, if you just want to talk about that where you rank MATLAB right now, then I can basically say that these days MATLAB is no more uh, no more very popular among data scientists as it was before, or it was 5 year back or maybe 10 year back, right? So but still, if you want to work with MATLAB, I recommend you to learn about MATLAB because it's not really difficult. And if you are a computer scientist or a computer science student, or even if you are engineering student, it's not really difficult. So if you want to learn MATLAB, I recommend you, I encourage you to use MATLAB, because many of the tasks which you want to use using MATLAB will be quite easier than doing in maybe other tools. So number one is MATLAB. Then just now I focus on two other languages, because MATLAB is a complete suite with toolboxes and everything like that, and MATLAB have many other things which is not specific to data science, of course. So now I want to focus specifically on two languages. One is R and the other is Python. R and Python both are very popular among data scientists. Okay, so if you just talk about R, R is actually developed for statistics or statistics relevant tasks. However, R has basically large number of packages available for from statistics to machine learning to visualization. So R is very ideally suited for data science relevant tasks or data science relevant job. So my first recommendation is always is R language, and I love to teach R as in the course of data science. And if you can go just few year back, then R was more popular than Python. So you might be thinking about that now it is not the case. Yes, now Python is more popular than R, and why this is the case, we will talk about it in a couple of minutes, right? So first of all, R is a very good language. It's open source, definitely. It is freely available. There are many IDs through which you can program, through which you can write R language code, and the most important advantage of R is basically its comprehensive set of libraries. So you name it and you find a powerful package available for R language. So it will definitely save your plenty of time if you are working in the domain of data science. Okay. Similarly, if you talk about Python, Python is again available free of cost. You can use you can use in many IDEs or integrated development environment, like even with Visual Studio, or even other basically PyCharm, or basically even if you want to work with the browser, then maybe you can use Jupyter Notebook and so on. The advantage of basically Python is actually Python is general purpose programming language. It's not only designed for, or it is not only developed for basically data science. However, R is was actually designed for or developed for statistics, and then definitely it is extended to for data science relevant jobs by adding more and more packages relevant to data science. So why basically Python? The reason the reason for the popularity of the Python is actually it's a general purpose programming language. Again, just like R, Python has basically very large number of libraries or packages available for almost you name it and you find a relevant package of Python. So again, you don't need to write it yourself. You can just choose very powerful libraries through which you can automate, or through which you can basically quickly implement your task in your hand. Okay, so you can very easily implement your solution. So in this way, R and Python are equal. R is very easy programming language, Python is a very easy programming language. R has a very comprehensive set of libraries. Yes, Python has a very comprehensive set of libraries. But again, R is not a general purpose programming language. However, Python is a general purpose programming language, means you can develop end-to-end application from a web services or website to basically some desktop application or something else. However, in R, you can develop some sort of visual interface as well, but the features available to develop this type of application are very limited in R. However, in Python, these features are very large in number and very robust. So you can use, if you are developing a data science solution, then you can develop an end-to-end application in Python, which you might not be able to develop in R programming language. That is why this is one of the reasons of the popularity of Python in comparison with R. So I will recommend you to basically learn R and Python, both of them. However, if you are from computer science background, better go for the Python, because you are already competent with the programming skill set. So better go for the Python, and using Python you can develop end-to-end application, whether it's a microservice, it's a web service, it's a website, it's a desktop application integrated with your data science component. Okay, so it's very easy to develop end-to-end application. There are many web frameworks are available through which you can develop your application, like Flask. You can use Flask as well, which is very easy framework for development of web-based application using Python. So this is another. So after discussing about MATLAB and then the two most popular programming languages for data science, which is actually R and Python, let me quickly move to another thing, which is SQL. Okay, or you call it SQL as well. Okay, so SQL is a language, or is a query language to retrieve data from database. Okay, so in order to efficiently process your data, in order to efficiently store your data, you might need to use some database. Okay, no matter it's a relational database or non-relational database, or NoSQL database might be, but you will be using some sort of database management system to manage huge amount of data, and for that you need SQL. At the minimum level you need SQL. So particularly if you are storing data in relational, or maybe even XML, or some JSON even, because most of the relational database support all these type of data as well, along with the numeric or something like that, right? So or you can say the format, which is actually particularly I'm talking about JSON. Okay, so whether it's a SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, MySQL, Postgre, or any other databases, so you must be competent with the database management system. You must have a good concept about database management system. You must have a good skill set of writing complex SQL queries. Okay, in more specialized, you need to learn about MDX, which is actually multi-dimensional expression, which is actually developed for data organized in hypercube or cube structure. Normally we used in OLAP system, which is actually we usually use OLAP system for data warehouses, for analytical processing or analytical queries. So you might need to learn about MDX as well, which is actually multi-dimensional data expressions. So there are many other languages available, but at the core level you must be very competent with SQL queries, so that you can write complex queries to retrieve your desired data. Okay, so and then of course at least you will be familiar with one of the database management system, like Oracle, or maybe SQL Server or maybe some other database, right? Okay. So this is another thing. Then visualization. Okay. So most of the tools, like even MATLAB, support very comprehensive visualization library. Similarly, Python has basically many packages available through which you can perform very comprehensive visualization. Even in R, very comprehensive libraries are available through which you can perform visualization on your of your data as well as your model output as well. Okay, so but there are many other tools available through which you can perform this type of visualization, and these tools are very specialized, very powerful, and you might not be able to achieve these type of visualization using the standard libraries available in your programming language. So Tableau is a very popular tool. So if you are a data scientist, or if you want to become a data scientist, then I will suggest you to learn about Tableau, how to use Tableau, because Tableau is a very powerful tool and very popular among data scientists, and most of the large organizations are using Tableau these days. Okay, so by using Tableau you can build a very sophisticated visualization, and that is why I am suggesting you to learn about Tableau. Then again, as I mentioned in 1.6, unit number 1.6 as well, that you must have a good skill set in operating system. Particularly, I have mentioned over there. However, there actually we are talking about more of the theoretical concept rather than tool. But you must be very good in operating system. If you are specifically talking about with respect to the tools, then I will suggest you to have a very good understanding about Linux, because most of these cluster based or parallel programming or other type of specialized hardwares are actually support Linux rather than Windows. So one thing is actually the hardwares, specialized hardwares like TPUs. I'm not talking about CPUs and GPUs, but TPUs. So these modern TPUs or accelerated device support Linux rather than Windows. So you must be competent with Linux. So if you are competent with Linux, it will always be beneficial for you. If you are creating a cluster, if you are creating a multi-node cluster of Hadoop or maybe something else, again most of the software support Linux rather than Windows. Okay, so I will suggest you to learn about Linux as well, and again bash scripting to automate things, to automate tasks, to process data, to process huge amount of data, to filter data maybe. Okay, so for text processing especially, I will suggest you to learn about bash scripting. Okay, so this is something about operating system. Then you can, of course, if you want to learn about any other programming language, it's good enough to learn about new other things as well. But these are the primary requirements that you must meet if you really want to become a good data scientist. Let me revise again that it is always recommended from my side to learn about R and Python as well. Okay, or if you want to select only one, then I will suggest you to go for Python rather than R. But if you want to expand your knowledge, if you want to have basically more tools, then I will suggest you to go for the R and Python both. Otherwise, Python is good enough. You must be competent with one of the relational database management system, and especially SQL queries, because SQL queries are almost compatible with all DBMS vendor. Other than that, if you are using some specialized statement, or maybe if you are using some specialized function which is only available in one of the DBMS, right? So you, in general, you need to learn about SQL. Okay. Then Linux, you need to learn about Linux operating system, which is very important. And then I've talked about visualization tool. I told you earlier as well that almost all programming languages support have basically different set of packages through which you can perform powerful visualization. But as a very specialized, as a very popular tool, I will suggest you to go for Tableau, because it is in very high demand. If you are expert, or if you have a good understanding of using Tableau, then it will be really beneficial for you, because you can build very powerful visualization through Tableau, and of course in a very rapid manner, because it will provide you a very rapid platform to build a very complex visualization model. Okay, so this is, and then of course if you want to basically perform data science on big data, having, of course, we already talked about what is actually the term big data here, and we have talked about 3 V's. Okay, volume, variety, veracity, and so on, by the way. Okay, so it might not be possible for you to run these different complex model on huge amount of data sets. Okay, so if you want to run your models, you want to train your model on huge amount of data, then it might not be possible for you to run in your own data center, or might be in your own computer. So the easiest way to do or to perform this job is by using cloud. Okay, so as an added advantage, as an added tool, better I can call it an added tool, I will suggest you to learn about cloud computing, because in most of the cases, if you are really working on complex model having huge amount of data, or you can call it having a big data, then you might not be able to solve those problem on your own computer, or maybe in your own data center, but you have to scale this solution on maybe 10s or 20 or even more than that nodes having very powerful resources available. Then in that case, it will always recommend to go and adopt cloud infrastructure rather than your own infrastructure. Okay, so it's up to you whether you want to go for the Microsoft Azure, whether you want to go for Amazon Web Services, AWS, or maybe IBM, or maybe Alibaba, or someone else. It's up to you. But remember one thing: if you are competent with one of the cloud service provider, then it will be very easy for you to migrate to another cloud platform. Okay, so definitely we can add more tools here as well, but these are some of the very important and very handy and very powerful tool which you need to learn in order to become a good data scientist. So with this, I want to end this lecture, and in the next lecture, which will be unit 1.8, and in that lecture we will talk about privacy, ethics, and bias in data science. Till then, thank you very much.